Everybody. My name is Sharon, and I'm here with Disability Equality and Education. We're going to be hearing a story today called All the Way to the Top. It's about a demonstration by disabled people that was instrumental in getting the Americans with Disabilities Act passed into law. The author is Annette Bay Pimentel. Pictures are by Nabi H. Ali, and the foreword is by Jennifer Keelan Chaffins, the girl in the story. We're really excited this is going to be read by Cassie James Holdsworth, who was actually herself there crawling up the Capitol steps 30 years ago. Thanks so much for doing this, Cassie.
I was born with cerebral palsy, which means that I use a wheelchair to help people get around every day. From a young age, I learned that buses, museums, libraries, and even schools that were accessible to able bodied peers were not accessible to me because there were no wheelchair ramps. Imagine not being able to join in with your friends because you can't get into a building where they're meeting. I left out I felt left out and did not like being separated from everyone, especially my younger sister, Kayla. As my family and I realized that people with disabilities were not treated as equally as able bodied people, we decided to join the disability rights movement to help change things for the better. I participated in my very first protest in Phoenix, Arizona, 1987, when I was just 6 years old. This was the first time I saw other people with disabilities protesting for the right to be recognized as equals. At first, I didn't quite know what to think, but after carefully observing adults at the protest, both my sister and I realized that people with disabilities had the right to be treated like everyone else, and that Kaylee and I did not have to be separated. As one of the very few young children who got too closely involved in the disability rights movement, I recognized that I had a very important responsibility placed upon me. I wasn't just representing myself, I was also representing my generation and the future generations of children with disabilities who also felt left out as they struggled for the same rights as everyone else. It was this responsibility that led me to participate in a big protest called the Capitol Crawl, a decision that a lot of people say helped convince Congress to pass the important law for the disability rights movement, the Americans with Disabilities Act. I hope that by sharing my story, kids everywhere will see you don't have to be a grown up to make a difference. If you believe in something, say it loud for everyone to hear. The passing of the Americans with Disabilities Act was a big win for the disability rights movement, but we still have a long way to go, and I keep using my voice to speak up for what I think is right. You can too. Jennifer Kaylee may be small, but her voice is mighty. Yeehaw! Snowball responds, speeding up from a walk to a trot. Jennifer loves to go fast, but she knows she'll soon have less time for riding since she's finally old enough for school. She can't wait to make new friends. She's ready to go. The school's not far. Jennifer rolls outside, down the sidewalk, to the corner. But stop. A few inch curve is a cliff to someone who uses a wheelchair. Her grandpa eases her wheelchair over the curve. Through the drop joints, Jennifer, she makes it to the building. But stop! The school says Jennifer doesn't belong there because she uses a wheelchair. Instead, Jennifer and her mom find a different school that says she can attend kindergarten, but only for part of the afternoon when lunch is over. As Jennifer rolls in every day, everyone is busy. She has to figure out what's going on and how to join in. Since most kids have never met someone who uses a wheelchair, her classmates are confused and even a little afraid. You'll never be one of us, some of them say. Jennifer knows they're wrong. She's just a friend waiting to happen. But how do you change someone's mind? She's not sure, but she's not about to give up. Jennifer and her family hear about activists who are working to make sure people with disabilities have access to public schools, access to public places like school. They want to know more, so they attend a strategy meeting. Jennifer has never seen anything like it. The room is full of grown ups with all sorts of disabilities. Some use wheelchairs, some use canes. None of them are sitting around waiting for things to change. They're shouting, laughing, and planning a big protest to get wheelchair lifts on buses. They turn to Jennifer. Do you want to come? Yes. She wants to go. Downtown, Jennifer rolls to the microphone and tells her story. She leads marches through the streets, chanting, "The people united will never be defeated." It feels good to speak up for what she believes. She can't wait to do it again. She's raring to go. She protests in Phoenix, rolls through the streets in San Francisco, waves signs in Montreal. The demonstration doesn't always change people's mind, but Jennifer is used for that. Even when her neighborhood school finally agrees she can attend, she and her classmates with disabilities aren't allowed to eat in the cafeteria with everyone else. That hurts, but she keeps going. Working with other activists rears her up. She can't help noticing that she and her sister are usually the only kids out there raising their voices. Still, she can't leave all the protesting to grown ups. She knows firsthand that children with disabilities get ignored too. So she keeps speaking up. Disability rights now. When Jennifer was 8, activists proposed a new law called the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA. The law insists schools, governments, and businesses make room for all people with disabilities, including those with disabilities. Jennifer feels like dancing. If it passes, it means sidewalks with curb cuts, buildings with ramps, in addition to steps and elevators with braille panels. It means Jennifer and her classmates with disabilities can finally go to the cafeteria with everyone else for lunch. Jennifer and her family watch the news for updates on the ADA, but reporters never mention it. She switches off the TV in frustration, wishing she could change reporters' minds on what's worth talking about. Instead, the KBs get their updates about the ADA from activist friends' calls. And it's bad news. Members of Congress say the law will be too complicated, too expensive. They say it's just not worth it. Since the news station is ignoring people with disabilities, Jennifer and her friends are determined to find another way to make Congress hear their voices. It's go time. Her family buys plane tickets to Washington, D.C. As they march down Pennsylvania Avenue, Jennifer has never shouted louder. The ADA, when do we want it? Now. Finally, they reach the U.S. Capitol, but stop. A mountain of steps blocks Jennifer and other people using wheelchairs from the building where Congress makes laws. Grown ups slide out of their wheelchairs and start pulling themselves up the steps. They will make sure members of Congress know they are here. Jennifer heart races. This is what she has been shouting about. I want to climb the steps, she says, but stop. The grown ups think you're too young. You can't do it. Jennifer knows this is not just about her, it's about her friends at school who were shut out of the cafeteria at lunch. It's about millions of other kids she never met who got stopped at every turn. Jennifer wants to speak up for all the kids with disabilities who aren't there. I need to climb the steps. She slides out of her wheelchair, scoots along the sidewalk to the bottom of the stairway, and pulls her hands on her first step. She holds herself up. Tiny bits of dirt and rock dig into her skin. She drags herself up another step. The crowd roars. Reporters surround her with cameras and microphones recording her gutsy climb. I'll take all night if I have to, she vows, and she keeps heaving, hauling, and dragging herself up these steps. She keeps going all the way to the top. Picture of Jennifer climbing the steps flash around the world. Reporters start talking about the ADA, members of Congress, the news, listen to the activists, and finally pass the ADA. Laws like the ADA don't change things overnight. Entrances have to be rebuilt, sidewalks redesigned, buses re-engineered. Slowest of all, minds have to change. So Jennifer will continue shouting and waving, signs and organizing and explaining she will continue fighting for what she knows is right. Jennifer has places to go, and nothing will stop her now. That's Jennifer's story.